Hello everyone, welcome back to Brown Barbell Club. Today we are talking about fatigue, what the fatigue is and how we can manage the fatigue during our peaking cycles.
Let's see what actually the fatigue is. Fatigue.
It causes someone to feel tired or exhausted. Anyway, that was the definition from Google. Let me walk you through the week 4 of the Calgary Barbell 8-week program, and along the way we will discuss about the fatigue and how we like to manage the fatigue during our peaking programs or any development cycle. So let's check it out, and don't forget to subscribe.
So what are the symptoms of fatigue? There are a number of reasons, but most of the common reasons are there's a no motivation to train in the gym, insomnia, lack of sleep, warm-up weights are feeling heavy. In fact, you are so tired that you don't even skip an ad on YouTube video. You ever felt that? Though fatigue could be because of X number of reasons. It could be due to poor sleep, not able to recover from training, not eating enough, but for sure the fatigue you are experiencing is not due to overtraining. Nobody's overtrained, most of us are undertrained. Anyway, that's the topic for another day. Let's focus on fatigue. So if you are a beginner or an intermediate, and if you are progressive overloading every week, I have seen that fatigue will be kicking in like 5 to 6 weeks if you don't take a deload after 2 months or after one cycle. To avoid fatigue, most of the people what they do is they take deloads, they do pivot block. Some people rest for the full week just to make sure they are fully recovered. Some people use full body massages or acupuncture to relieve stress from their body. We used to use pivot block strategy where you can change the pain movements to something else. Example would be doing SSB or high bar instead of low bar squat, using dumbbells for bench. Instead of using a regular bar for deadlift, we use strap bar deadlifts as well. I know Mark Ripto won't be happy after listening to this, but it is what it is. The only issue with the pivot block strategy was that it felt difficult to get back to training weights and the movements, especially when you are doing a peaking block. So take an example of 8-week peaking program. Let's say you started experiencing some fatigue in week 4 or week 5. If you will pivot to another movements, the next week might be difficult for you to come back to the same competitive movements with the same intensity that you intended to do for that week. Please note that I'm not saying pivot blocks are not effective in your training. Pivot blocks are awesome. We use the pivot block strategy in our development blocks. But during the peaking phase, we want to make sure that we are not switching movements during 6 weeks or 8 weeks of our competition prep. So the question is, how do we manage the fatigue whenever we are peaking and we don't want to switch to another movements? To avoid unnecessary fatigue, we have introduced low stress week on every 4th week of our training. You might be thinking, low stress week, am I deloading? No, I'm not deloading. If you look at the Calgary Barbell program, week 1 is 80% of the squats, week 2 is 82%, and then 86 and then 85%, and some accessories. In every 4th week, we don't do any accessory work for that day. The week 4 will have the main movements. Whatever the intensity and the volume is prescribed, we will do that, but we will not do any accessory listed on that day for the whole week. This way, we will be progressing from the last week for sure, and on the other hand, we are recovering from the excessive stress that we have accumulated from the past 3 weeks. Alright, this is it. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments what strategy you use to manage fatigue in your training or during the peaking phase. We would love to hear it. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Till next video, stay strong, stay safe.